Good morning. I'd like to start out asking for your help. Could someone share one reason you come to church on Sunday morning? Cookies, someone said. I love it. I was hoping someone would say that. Community, I heard. Donuts and coffee hour, excellent. I was hoping someone would say that. You guys are coming through. What else did I hear? To love Jesus, did I hear?
Yes.
Relationships. Cake. Very good. What else? Blessings. Thank you. Have a better week. Thank you. Communion. Have a better week. Spiritual experience. And love each other. Very good. I thought I heard that. Love each
And to sing in the choir.
other. What else?
No.
Prayers. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you. Very good. Excellent. What a wonderful list. Thank you. I'm gonna come back to that. There's also in the narthex, as part of our pledge campaign, there's a poster board out there showing some of the ways we walk in love here at St. Paul's. So I invite you to look at that as well after the service. All those ways we walk in love are also reasons why we attend church here on Sunday morning. Father Kirk mentioned this is the last day of the church calendar. It's also Christ the King Sunday today on the church calendar. And in our gospel lesson today from the Gospel of John, we hear Jesus describe his kingdom to Pilate. Pilate was the governor of Judea, and as governor, he was head of their judicial system. Jesus is being held as a prisoner at the time of today's gospel lesson. And Pilate asks, "Are you the king of the Jews?" If Jesus answers yes, then that's treason against the Roman government, against the Roman emperor, and that the punishment for treason is to be hung on a cross. Jesus is king, but not in the political way Pilate is thinking. So a yes or no answer here would not do. As a spiritual leader, Jesus answers Pilate's question with another question. A yes or no answer shuts down conversation. Spiritual leaders know that answering a question with another question can open up the conversation and can get us to think about things. Do you ask this on your own, Jesus says, or did others tell you about me? Pilate, I'm guessing, is not used to having prisoners question him. But I think something about meeting Jesus has thrown Pilate off balance. I think he's a little flustered. So what does Pilate do? He answers Jesus' question with yet another question. I'm not a Jew, am I? Doesn't Pilate sound a little flustered here? And Pilate asks, "What have you done?" That question sounds typical to me of someone in authority. They say, "Well, you're here in my office, aren't you? You must have done something wrong." Pilate sounds flustered and a bit off balance, but now I think he's ready to listen. And so Jesus tells him about his kingdom. Jesus says, "My kingdom is not from this world." Actually, if you look at today's verses, Jesus says that twice, that his kingdom is not from this world. He says it twice, so it must be important. And then, I think this is also important, Jesus describes his followers. And that's us. We are the 21st century followers. So, what does Jesus say about us? Well, first he says his followers do not fight to prevent his arrest. So I think to sort of restate that for us 21st century followers, I think we could rephrase it as, we don't fight over religious differences. Then Jesus tells Pilate that his followers belong to the truth and listen to Jesus' voice. What does it mean for us in the 21st century to belong to the truth and listen to Jesus' voice? Well, sometimes we can understand things by stating the opposite. So I would state the opposite as, we don't listen to lies from this world. Jesus did tell Pilate not once, but twice, that his kingdom is not from this world. When voices from this world say things like, society is unfair to the poor, but there's nothing we can do to make things better, that's just the way things are. We try not to listen to those voices. It's not easy sometimes. And when voices from this world say there's nothing we can do to make the air and water cleaner because that's just the way things are, we try not to listen to those voices. It's not easy, especially when we hear it over and over on television or social media, or even from friends and family. Or when voices from this world make racist or sexist remarks, we try not to listen to those voices. It's not easy sometimes, especially if we feel outnumbered. It's not easy, and therefore, that's another reason for coming to worship on Sunday morning. Coming to worship to be strengthened and encouraged for the week to come. In fact, someone mentioned that. Yeah, to have a better week. Yes, thank you. And I think all the things we mentioned overlap with this. Coming for communion, coming for relationship, coming for blessings and prayer. I think all those things overlap with coming to be strengthened and encouraged for the week to come. Attending worship on Sunday morning recharges our batteries so that for the rest of the week, with faith, we can choose to belong to the truth and hear the voice of Jesus loud and clear. After he gets done describing his followers to Pilate, Pilate still sounds a little flustered to me. I think he's scratching his head. All Pilate can do, bless his heart, is to ask another question. Pilate says, "So, you are a king?" Today is Christ the King Sunday, and today is also our ingathering. Ingathering is the day when we bless our pledge commitments for next year, and we celebrate all the time, talent, and treasure that has generously been given here at St. Paul's and given through St. Paul's to our parish, and when we go out to the world to all those different communities. As chair of our gratitude committee, I get to say thank you. So thank you for sharing your time, talent, and treasures here at St. Paul's. And thank you for your 2025 financial pledge. When we started out by sharing some of the reasons we attend worship, I was hoping that someone would say for the coffee and donuts, and I think several people did. That's one of my reasons too. It's not the only reason, it's one of the reasons. I'm glad that's on the list, because please come help us celebrate ingathering after the service in the parish hall and get a piece of Costco cake. Today is ingathering, and today is also Christ the King Sunday. In today's gospel lesson, I hear Jesus saying two things about us in the 21st century. I hear, one, we don't fight over religious differences. And two, We belong to the truth and hear Jesus' voice. May we all be strengthened and encouraged at worship this morning, so that for the rest of this week, we may belong to the truth and hear the voice of Jesus loud and clear. Amen.